Welcome to my channel. My name is Wendie and I am a full-time nomad artist. What that means is that my husband and I and our 3 dogs all live in an RV and we travel all over the United States. That's where I get my inspiration for my art, and what I want to share with you is all the highs, the lows, the ins, the outs of living a nomadic lifestyle. I hope you learn a lot, and I'm so glad that you're here. Well, the time has come. I have procrastinated long enough. One of the things you got to do when you've been sitting still, and we are preparing to start rolling again come June, and it's the end of the first week of May, is unscrew everything that you've done. So I've been taking pictures of the different befores and afters of my cupboards and things. But I have been avoiding this. I've even procrastinated the last 2 days because I have like little mini goals in mind, you know. And so today's the day. So here is the dreaded closet that I've been avoiding. Well, the time is... It even squeaks like an old haunted house. Do you see all of that? Okay, the clothes isn't too bad. We've got clothes that let me pull back a little bit. We got clothes that, you know, it's pretty good. Some of that stuff will get pared back because hopefully we will be in warmer weather. But look at this pile. God, I don't even know what's in here. I know there's my dish tray and my cutting board. Those stay for sure. But the rest of this is in real question. So we will work through it together. Okay, so how this is going to work is foodstuffs will go into the kitchen, and I'm going to separate in those 2 boxes and any overflow I might have what I'm keeping and what I'm putting into storage and what I'm just going to throw away. God knows how much is in here. It's been building for 4 or 5 months. And you know, when you've got such a little tiny space, you kind of just chuck things away where, you know, you have to look at it. So this should be interesting. So this is stuff I know. We've got some snack items. Whenever I first go grocery shopping, there's hardly any room. And then as we eat stuff down, then it gets put away into the regular cupboard spots. Okay. So one of the really important things in travel is a Brita filter. Cannot live without this because you can spend $5 million on bottled water, which we only spend $2 million on bottled water. Or you can filter it and drink it that way and refill. So that's a big deal. All right, so we got potatoes. Now, I always store potatoes in there. This is hunting. This is all the way back from October, and they're sealed up, but they're protein bars. They're like survival food for hunters. It's pretty cool. And then I have no idea how long this has been in there. There's a lot of food in here. Jeez, okay. Overflow chargers. We've been doing some changes and whatnot, so I'm not sure how that ended up in there. More taters. We're a potato eating family. Okay, I know what this is, and this will definitely go into storage. We get into banana split mode once in a while. It takes a lot to keep the shape. Round is a shape. I'm in shape. And so we really enjoy indulging in banana boat or banana split boats, but that's an indulgence that is not needed for the road, but we sure did enjoy it while we were planted solid. Brown paper bags. That's mostly for my foraging. No idea what this is. I mean, I used to put granola in it, but that's unnecessary, and it's too good to throw away. Just a little storage container. Oh my God. A really old potato. Holy crap. Not sure if it's salvageable. It doesn't have any eyes. another part to the pleating, so that stays there. Oh, this is my chopping knife. Actually, it's Joe's chopping knife. That'll be stored back into the kitchen because when we travel, Joe does more cooking than normal. So I'll definitely keep that. I'll put that in that cupboard over there. And that basket's already empty. Wow. What else do we have in here? Another paper bag. That's just garbage. I'll throw that away. So I got this wild idea this winter that since we were home, I was going to make soup. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I don't know what I'll do with that. It'll probably get donated. Because beans, I'm not going to have time to soak beans overnight and do all of that in our travels. I highly doubt it. Dog treats. Well, that's good to know I put those in there. And milk bones. How cool is that? Okay. Totally forgot those were there. And this is a grinder, a mortar and pestle, that I just absolutely had to have and bought at a little fair, of which I haven't used. So I think I'm going to store that. Again, in our travels, I doubt very seriously I'm going to need it. And I have an apron with my name on it that I just felt like I had to pull out of storage and have not used. So I think that's going to go back into storage too, because who's got time for that when I'm traveling? I don't. I'm not caring about that stuff. Let's see. A mason jar with old granola in it. Could probably use the jar, but I'll toss that. This is actually something that we don't use when we are sitting still, because there isn't much need. But it's hugely useful on a consistent basis when we're traveling. So I'll put together a meal or what have you, and the plate and the condiments and all that stuff will go in here. It'll be just one trip out the door for eating outside. This is used like a million times while we travel. So this definitely is going with us. It sure helps little old lady from having to go in and out of the trailer when we want to have a nice little picnic outside. So this definitely stays. And these have been in here and they really aren't taking up much space, but these are really, really good kites. Like those high-end I don't know what you call them, but they're like little fast little kites. And when we're at the ocean especially, we love to use these. And they're really not taking up any space, so I'm going to leave them right in the back corner. Right there. All right. And so now I've got everything pulled out. And then I'll just kind of go through and show you what I'm going to actually do with it. Oh, and that's the way to do this, is pull everything out, set it out, put it where you know, and then slowly put it back together again in a solid format. So, yeah. Okay, now I've cleaned it out, and all we've got in there is the potatoes, the tools we use all the time, and that little deal there. So now getting in and out of my drainer and my cutting board is super easy. And we've got lots of room to add a bunch of crap later on. That's usually how that goes. That one wasn't so bad. Now we're going to come over to this cupboard. It's the second dreaded cupboard. And it really wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But this one is just so full of books. a couple of games, but just, yeah, just all these books. So I need to really go through them and decide what stays and what goes, because there's a lot of crap in there. So, well, we'll see. That one wasn't... Okay, so this is going to be one of those reasons why at 58, I figure I'm going to continue to stay agile until I'm, I don't know, 90 or so. Because how I move around is standing on things. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull all this down. Same process. Pull it all. Okay, I just went through this one, so I know it's good. With that, you pull it all, and then you make the decisions one by one before it goes back up into the cupboard. I have found that anytime I have done any kind of organization, this has been the ideal way. And it's so funny because once I really got into doing this, back in 2011 or 12, when I was thinking about starting my business as a coach, one of the things I considered being was an organizational coach. And it's so funny because over time, and I'm going to leave Rumming Cube in there because I really can't get Joe to play it very often, but if I ever could, that's the game I want to play. Anyway, then all those shows started coming out about organizing your space and, you know, the professional organizers. And I'm like, that's what I do. It was kind of cool. So anyway, we got the first step down, and I'm going to go ahead and go through each one of them and see which ones I'm going to keep with me on the road and which ones are going to get stored for later. Okay. I am not the queen of videotaping, so I'm going to check and see if this works out. If I'm sitting down like this, going through these. Okay. I think I have it. So organize it this way. Oop, throw that there. And then reaching for all of this. Okay, I think I got it. I had to record a couple of different times. All right, so here we go. Same kind of thing. Stack for garbage, stack for keep, stack for storage. Okay, so this is like all the little scenic places to go. Collector's edition of what? Central Oregon Coast. That's trash. Trash. All this stuff. Wallowa, Whales in Depot Bay, Knee Tarts. All these things, you know, the minute we hit town, we'll get the updated new ones. So that's all going to go to trash. Joe's The Complete Photo Manual. So we've been toting it around for 4 years, and it's ended at the very bottom. And now that there's so much Gemini and Google and all that, really don't need it. So these are all the little wildflowers of the desert, birds, wildflowers of southeast Arizona, trees and shrubs of the desert. That's all like identifiers. There's an outdoor survival Bible. The Audubon of the Southwestern. For sure that doesn't need to come. Backpackers Outdoor Knots. Okay. The survival stuff, let's just pretend the zombie apocalypse actually hits while we're on the road. There's not going to be any internet. So my survival books are staying. Okay, RV boondocking in southern Utah. So this is all Utah stuff that we've collected up. Utah will be the rear end of our trip. I think I might keep that one because that is something that we really want to do is spend some time in Utah. And if we have the opportunity, we're definitely going to do that. Okay, roadside geology of Idaho. No, don't need that right now. Hiking the hot springs in the Pacific Northwest. I think I'm going to keep that for the summer. Let's see. When the grid fails, urban and natural disaster survival. Mushrooms, how to identify and gather mushrooms. This is a really good book. I'm going to set that to the side. I'm not sure. Let's see. Clearwater Country. It's a traveler's guide to Idaho. Wood carving. Joe might get into that if we get stuck somewhere. He's got all his equipment. This is definitely the very best mushroom book. This is for sure coming. It's the Hip Pocket Guide to Western Mushrooms. It's pretty awesome. How to forage mushrooms without dying, and mushrooms of the Northwest. I'm going to set those aside. We'll see how much room I end up coming up with. Mammals of the Rocky Mountains, edible mushrooms, more mushroom stuff. Yeah, we like to forage for mushrooms, even though they scare the shit out of me. Mushrooms. What do we have here? Dutch oven cooking. I ain't going to be doing that while we travel. Bushcrafters Illustrated Guide, Survival Guide. That goes there. It's all our animal pamphlets. Let's save those. Let's see what else we got here. Ugh. Okay, American Lighthouses. Is this like... No, that's kind of cool because it's everywhere. All right, I'm going to keep that one. Coastal Redwoods, Natural and Cultural History. Don't need to take that one on this trip, but I'm definitely keeping it. Off-Grid Survival Magazine, Living Off the Land. We are going to be going to Devil's Tower, or at least through there, but I'm sure we can get something else. Lake Mead and the Hoover Dam, those are always so cool. But I'm not sure that we absolutely need that for this particular trip. Beautiful Yellowstone stuff. Again, it feels like this is such a long trip. There's a Bryce Canyon. I want to keep that because, again, Utah. And then there's a book on the Yellowstone geysers. That one definitely can be stored. The official guide to the... What year is this one? It was only $8.95, so I'm guessing it's kind of old. I'm just curious at what the print is of this. It doesn't have it. Easily accessible. I'm guessing this is pretty old, though. I think I got this back in the day. Oh, there's a... See, this receipt from accessing Yellowstone is from August 2006. So, yeah, pretty old. So, but I'm going to keep it, but store it. It's not going to go with us. Yeah, for $8.95. I think they're like $20 now. The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, Forager's Wild Foods, that stays. No Grid Survival Projects, The Bug In Guide for Navy SEALs, and Long-Term Survival Guide. See, those suckers are going. Those are going with us. Ugh. Alright, don't need the map of Flathead or Columbia Falls, Glacier. Don't need any of that. Oh. Little notes. Arizona, Lake Mead. Actually, I like to save these things because these are art project stuff. So, the national park stuff. So, not the maps. They're a dime a dozen. Art galleries, whitefish, rock art symbols of the Southwest. Can store it. Whitefish maps, Lake Mead, keep it. Desert, Oho Mountain Drive Guide, desert adaptations. I think I'll keep that. Edible plants, heck was in this stack? Boy, I got a lot of those. These little plastic foldables that I can take with me on hikes for identification. Rocks and minerals to the Northern Rockies. Geology, trees of the Pacific Northwest. So I'm always wanting to identify things. North American wildflowers. I think I'm going to keep this one too, because that's North America. That's not just Pacific Northwest. Whitefish maps. This is all garbage. Did I ever actually? Yeah, I kind of use this. I think I'll keep that with the forager. It's my drawings and identification of the different mushrooms. Okay, so we were talking about Utah kind of being a spot. There's another roadside geology of Utah. I'm keeping that. That's going with us. And then this is all of the information, maps and information. I'm going to take, these are actual maps. They're not just, you know, roadside silliness. Most of the stuff in here. Oh, there's some trees of Idaho, and that's going to go with that. That's campground. Oh, Bighorn Battlefield. Let's keep on there. Port Ludlow, don't need that. San Francisco. Yeah, these are actual, the plastic type of maps. Let's see, mushrooms. National Park. Garbage. What's this? It's a trail map of something. I don't want to open the whole damn thing up, but it looks beefy. Oh, it's Utah. Okay, keeping that. Trail map, Utah. Let's see, what is this? This is the Olympic Peninsula. We'll get another one when we go up there. Idaho Brewers map. I think we can do that online. Dispersed camping in California, which probably doesn't exist anymore. And this is Southwestern United States map. We're keeping that. True maps, actual maps, of which I still know how to read. Not too many people know how to do that. Are kind of like super important in the world. All right, so if all this crap will fit in here of these identification deals, these are all the little guys that I've collected because they're so helpful. I'm going to keep those. I think I'm going to put this little tiny book of knots in here. I have any other little tiny books. That made that definitely doable. Okay, mushrooms, edible mushrooms. I put that in here, and is that little book I'm going to keep? Where's that little mushroom book that I said was the best of the best? There it is. I bet you that would fit in here too. Yes, it does. Excellent. There. Okay. All right, they fit, so this can go because that's always kind of been part of the process here. And this last book is the Lost Book of Superfoods. And this one is Edible Medicinal Plants. All right, so narrowed it down a little bit. Can I do better? Well, I got rid of this much garbage. That's cool. This is all garbage right here. That's not bad. That's Northwest. And this book was really good with photos and how-tos and references. I'm gonna let these ones go. Keep that. I can't do a thing without my puppies helping me out. I want these books to lay flat. I don't want them to get squished up and travel. Go ahead, go through, go through. Just step in there, just so. And we got rid of all of that. I think that cupboard's gonna look a lot better. All right, so I'm just gonna put them all back. I don't think you need to watch me do that part of it. And we'll take a look-see and see how well it did. Holy crap. Look how much better that is. Oh, yeah. And I guarantee you, by the time we get back from this trip, that'll be full again. Because, you know, human beings, pack rats. Holy crap. Okay, the aftermath of all that joy. Thanks for watching. And, you know, stay tuned for other exciting adventures within the trailer. And as we prepare and I do some commission art and a little mixture of everything. So I hope you enjoyed watching what the real life of RV life is all about and how we get prepared for moving forward. So, mwah, love ya and talk to you real soon.